Hey, Programming 11. The first project is upon us. This project, I think, is a really good introduction to just making sure you understand how to make a processing program, how the coordinate system works, and how functions in general work, as well as getting practice with the specific functions that we've already been learning about, creating windows, applying colors, drawing shapes, and so on. So in this project, you're basically going to try to recreate this drawing. You do not have to make it perfect. In other words, you don't have to get it in the exact X and Y positions as I have done. So for example, if this mountain's a little bit shorter and the sun's a little bit higher and the head's a little bit bigger in your drawing compared to mine, that's okay. We're not trying to get exact sizes and stuff. You're not trying to guess the exact numbers. Just roughly positioning things is acceptable. Try to get close though, try to get the robot on this side and make sure the layering is the same. Don't have the mounts and whoops on top of the robot, that kind of stuff. So you should be able to see the drawing. I should be able to oh yeah, that's totally the drawing when I'm looking at it. I think you're going to need to use everything we've used so far. Just a reminder, when you start this project, don't just click clack type all the code and then press run and expect it to be done. You got to do it incrementally. That's the number one thing to remember, I think, as you're getting started. It's one thing to be able to code in where does the rectangle go. It's another thing to put together a whole bunch of function calls into a big program. Don't forget to use those comments to describe what parts of the code are the mountains, what part of the code is the ground, what part of the code is the robot's body. Put those comments in for sure. That is actually going to be marked to see if you have included comments that help me look at your code and yourself as well. It's going to help you a lot when you're oh, there's this one piece of code, the one shape that's wrong. Which one is it? I can't tell. It's going to help you a lot. I would start with the sky, and then I would draw a sun, maybe the ground, I don't know, and then draw the mountain. Notice that there's not some special function for a Pac-Man shape. This is just an ellipse, and the triangle is drawn on top of it. Also notice that there's no lines here, and that's because I use the same color stroke as I use for fill for the mountain. For the robot, I think just because this is sometimes annoying, these lines they all just originate from the center of this circle. So all the circle and these lines all sort of point to the same place. These ones are a little bit off of that center, but that's what makes that work. I think I use this as a rect actually instead of a thick line, but I don't really care how you get that done. That's fine. And by the end of this, you're going to have practiced a lot with the coordinate system. How do colors work, all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not looking for exact duplication of my project. I am looking for that you put in a significant amount of effort to make it look reasonably close and don't lose sleep over pixel perfect replication. So that's going to be our first project. If you're really enjoying this and you have a bunch of creativity in you right now just bursting out and you're oh yeah, that's cool, but I got this other idea for a drawing, then that's great. You can draw a better drawing, but it's got to be a better drawing. I'm sure that's not super hard to do. This is not the ultimate drawing, but it is fairly complex. So you do got to draw something that's more complex than this. If you want to get full credit for the project, but go at your own, and that's cool. I would love to see it. At some point, I don't have them on this computer here. I have that at home, but I'd love to post some of the exceptional drawings that students have done. Some of them are just mind-blowing. So if you have the time and the interest, you're welcome to go all out on this and make some pretty awesome robot or any kind of drawings, whatever you think would be cool, as long as it's at least as complex as what we have going on here. Okay, if you hand in something where it's I end up saying to you, hey, you drew this extra thing, it looks nice, but there's some things here that are not as complicated. I don't mind if you resubmit or something. So basically, if you're drawing something and your intent is to make something awesome, you're going to do fine in the project, if you deliver something that's reasonably awesome. If you're doing it because you want to make it easier on yourself and you end up like escaping some of the practice that the project is supposed to encourage, then that's when you would probably get marked down. So just go at it with the right spirit, and I think you'll do great. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create so much.